guys, it's Dr. George, and I am here with a Tucked In Tuesday. Sorry I didn't make it last week. I had a meeting and my meeting went over, but as promised, I'm back today and I'm getting everything set up so that people can see that I'm here. And let's see, starting now. All right. So, we're still on our book, State Capitals. Explore the capital cities of our 50 states. Can you believe 50 states? We've been learning a lot about the states up lately. Let me make sure that I have everything live. Perfect. So I have that live. Let me change that to edit audience, make sure everybody can see it, and they can. And I'm going to share that and make sure everybody can see it. And it's so good to see you all here. Next week will be Christmas Eve, and I'll be reading a Christmas book. Plus, we'll have the Santa tracker on, so you all will be able to see where Santa is traveling. Those of you that celebrate Santa at home, tune in. You'll be able to see where he is all night on Christmas Eve. Let me go ahead and fix a couple of things. Edit audience, public, and perfect. There we go. Let me refresh my page. I want to make sure that everybody can watch. Let's see. There we go. Now we're ready. There we go. So, if nobody's tuned in, perfectly fine. You can always go back and watch. Make them a little message, and we are good to go. So here we go. State capitals. We got a couple of states we're catching up on. Remember, we've done several states. Several. We've done Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. Did we do? I think we stopped. Let's see where we stopped at. Let's see. We did Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, and now we're on Idaho. And I've been to Idaho. So let me put up my little map that I always put up so you guys can see that. Share my screen. And shout out to my hubby for setting this up. He's the best. Thank you, Melvin, if you're watching. Thank you for making sure that this is taken care of. I really appreciate all of your help. So our state for today is Idaho. And like I said, I've been to Idaho before. So Idaho, the capital is Boise, Idaho. I actually went there. Mr. and Mrs. Matthew live there. So if they watch this later, there's your shout out. So there are several different theories about how Boise got its name. One popular story tells of a group of French-Canadian fur trappers who had been trekking tirelessly across the desert, and they suddenly spotted the Boise River. Bordered by trees, they were so relieved that they shouted, "Les boys," the French word for woods. So the capital population is 207,000. State population, 1.6 million. Other large cities, there's Idaho Falls, Nampa, and Meridian. Date entered the Union, July 3rd, 1890. State flower, syringa, I think is how you say it. It looks kind of like a gardenia. And the state bird is mountain bluebird. So here is the state there. Here's the state and the state flag right there. You see it up there in blue. And so the key, this 41-acre special use park near downtown is a haven for wildlife. Lucky visitors might spot a nesting heron. 2, meet eagles, hawks, falcons, owls, and other fierce birds of prey at the Indoor-Outdoor Education Center The first one is called the Catherine Albertson Park, if you've ever been there. 2, the World Center for Birds of Prey. 3, a place to reflect on the legacy of Anne Frank. I didn't know that. Where visitors also celebrate human rights activists from around the world and across history. Didn't know that. And that place is called the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Museum. Number 4, visit the tower and walk the grounds at this historic former train station, now a popular meeting and ceremonial space. And number 4 is the Boise Depot. Number 5, hit the slopes in winter and the trails in summer at this local favorite, just 16 miles from downtown. And that is called the Bogus Basin Mountain Recreation Area. Number 6, explore the history and culture of the Basque immigrants who settled in Boise through exhibits, collections, and tours. And that is called the Basque Museum and Cultural Center. Number 7, many locals flock to this spacious park to use the playgrounds, tennis courts, and outdoor gym. And that's the Camel's Back Park. And I'll show you why it's called that. And 8, take a stroll along the 25-mile trail, popular for its scenic views and wildlife. And that is the Boise River Greenbelt. Now, if you've ever been to Idaho, go ahead and put it in the chat. Also, if you want to say hello, go ahead and put that in the chat as well. I have 2 comments here. Let's see what they're saying. It's my friends, Ava, Ari, and Pop Pop. Merry Christmas. Make sure you tune in next week. The Grinch will be taking over Tucked In Tuesdays and reading a book. Latoya is in bed listening. This is awesome. So I'm tucking in Latoya, Ava, Ari, and Pop Pop. So glad to be tucking you guys in tonight. It's a warm outside, but hopefully it'll get cozy pretty soon. So I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of Boise, Idaho. I'll share my screen, make myself really little down there, and let me share so you can see a little bit of Boise, Idaho. And some places, there's the art museum here. And there's a couple of things, and that's just kind of how it looked when I went. So let's see if I can make this big. Let's see. Can I make it big? No, can't make it that big. So that's Boise, Idaho. And this is their state flag. Remember we talked about the state flag? There it is. All about Boise, Idaho, and that's their state flag. So Illinois, the next state. And there's Rosalind in bed. Hi, Rosalind. Get well soon, Rosalind. She's in bed resting. So Illinois, the capital is Springfield. Were it not for Abraham Lincoln, it seems unlikely Springfield would be a capital at all. When Illinois became a state, the capital was Kaskaskia. It was later moved to Vandalia, and then it was Lincoln's political maneuvering on behalf of Springfield that decided the capital's final location. Capital population only 117,000. There's 12.8 million in the state. And there's other large cities, Chicago, Evanston, and Rockford. Date entered the Union, December 3rd. Happy belated birthday, 1818. State flower is violet. And the state animal is the white-tailed deer. So let's see what we can learn all about Illinois. So Illinois, here we go right here with Illinois. That's their state flag right there. The first place we're going to talk, Illinois. First place we're going to talk about is 67 bells chime each quarter hour and play popular music at free weekly concerts. That is, if you're going there, you can get a free concert, and it's called the Thomas Reese Memorial Caroling to the state work of renowned poet Nicholas Vachel Lindsay. And that is called the Vachel Lindsay Home. Number 3, the 361-foot dome of the Capitol building, home to the state government, towers over the west side of the city. And that is called the Illinois State Capitol, which I saw from afar and didn't get to go. I love visiting state capitals. I'll have to come back, Jill. Number 4, designed by architect Frank Lloyd Wright in 1902, even the windows and Wright's oak furniture have been beautifully preserved. And number 4, you can go and visit there, the Dana Thomas House. Number 5, the former Capitol building was the state of Abraham Lincoln's famous House Divided speech. And that was done at, let me get my little key here, at the old state capitol. Number 6, the history of Illinois' most famous citizen is brought to life through personal and historic artifacts and documents. And that is at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. Number 7, bring your binoculars to this 40-acre oasis to spot bluebirds, bunting, swallows, and more. And that is Adams Wildlife Sanctuary. Number 8, travel back in time to 1860 and explore the house where Abraham Lincoln lived with his family. And that is called, let me see if I can pull that up. That is called the Lincoln Home National Historic Site. And so Dr. George is a forever learner. So those of you that are like, what is she doing over there? I'm learning with you. So let me show you. Let me see if I can make this big for my screen. Let's see if I can make it pretty big for you guys. So here's the home that Abraham Lincoln. I love showing new things. So here's his home. Isn't that pretty cool? That's his home. And I think that's so spectacular because, you know, sometimes people get to travel and some people don't get to travel, but that is very neat. So Latoya says, I'm learning and I love it. Me too, Latoya. Absolutely love it. So let's see what else we have. That's Illinois. And then that's it in the state. And then that is part of the house as well. Assuming the back of it, that's a pretty big house. And so, that's Julius Rosenwald's father purchased the Line House in 1868. And we can't believe everything we see on the internet. So a couple of things. This is the Lincoln home back then. And there's a sketch of him. Look how cool that is. So that's his actual home in black and white. And I wish I could make it a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. I can't. But if you go to illinois.gov, you can learn all about this, even build your own model of the home. Look at that. You can go and cut this out and build your own replica of the house. So there you go. Little arts and craft, little family arts and craft. So our next state for tonight is Indiana, the state. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. So Indiana, sometimes I think it's a city, but it's a state. I know. And the capital is Indianapolis. I think you hear more about the capital than the state. Some state capitals have a long history, but Indianapolis is fairly new. In fact, it was built specifically to be Indiana's capital city. Its name combines the state's name with polis, the Greek word for city, and its nickname, Crossroads of America, is a reference to its position at the intersection of several important highways and waterways. Fittingly, the city is also renowned for its focus on auto racing, the Indiana Raceway. Sure is. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Capital population, 821,000 people. State population, 6.5 million. Other large cities, Evansville, Fort Wayne, Wayne Township. Date entered the Union, December 11, 1816. And now another birthday, happy belated birthday. The state flower is the peony. State bird, northern cardinal. Number 1, and let me show you their flag. It's right there, looks like a torch. First place that we visit with more than 250,000 permanent seats. This automobile racing circuit is one of the world's largest sporting venues, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Number 2, explore the engineering and technology vital to the auto racing industry through innovative experiential exhibits. And that is called the Dallara IndyCar Factory. 3, visit the zoo, catch a baseball game, watch an IMAX movie, or just enjoy this green space by the river. And that is called the White River State Park. Number 4, experience the impressive collections of Western and Native American art and watch current artists at work. Number 4 is the Eden Jong Museum of American Indians and Western Art. Number 5, with over 130,000 artifacts and specimens, visitors can walk with dinosaurs, blast off into space, and much more if you visit the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. And number 6, the Colonial Eli Lilly Civil War Museum. It's located in the lower level of the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. This comprehensive exhibit highlights the effects of the Civil War on the people of India. Number 7, Kurt Van Gut Museum and Library. Honor the literary, artistic, and cultural contributions of the renowned Indianapolis-born novelist. 8, feel the beat at one of the world's foremost interactive drum and percussion museums. And that's at the Rhythm Discovery Center. So let's look at that. That one, I think, sounds pretty neat. Rhythm Discovery Center. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow, looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at this. Here we go. Temporarily closed. We know that. And so they have exhibits. Well, they had exhibits. There was a rhythm. So there's a time tunnel. Evolving sounds is rudimentary. There's drums and drummers, a groove space, and 50 years of drums. And then there's a Billy Gladstone, but they're temporarily closed for whatever reason. So we don't have, it's not. So if you wanted to go there, you couldn't go there. So let's see something else that we could, the Children's Museum, because even though I'm an adult, I absolutely love Children's Museum of Indianapolis. And I want to give a shout out to Deborah. Deborah just logged on and she gave LaToya a big old heart. So welcome, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. So look at this, the Children's Museum. Look at all this cool stuff that is flashing on your screen. There's a locomotive. There's lots of things here. Pretty cool. Let's go to their website. Look at all the fun things you could do if you went there. And look at the size of this dinosaur. Pretty big. And there's a winter fair. And look, there's Santa. So that's Indianapolis. So you can go through, pick the ages, the family favorites. So let's see 13 plus, and I love dinosaurs, and I love space, and I love science, and I click go. There were no events scheduled today. Let's look at the look. I could visit Santa, the Pluto. So lots of things you can do there. So shout out, man, what a fun place. An atrium snowball fight at 11 and 2 o'clock tomorrow. So lots of things you can do. So great job with sharing that. Indiana. Now, our next state that we're going to look at. Hello, PJ and Rochelle. Hello, welcome. Glad you can join us. Our next state is Iowa. Des Moines, I think is how you say the capital. Let me tell you a little secret about Dr. George. Dr. George comes from Louisiana, and my accent is so thick, and sometimes I say words that are not correct. But you know what? If I don't read because I'm embarrassed, I don't give other people courage to read. So if you hear a misspelled word, type it in there phonetically, and I'll be glad to correct it. All cold states, yes. I even have the air on extra cold, so it feels cold because it's not cold in Texas. And then Floyd, hello, Floyd. If you haven't checked out his podcast, go and check out the Kickback podcast. He does a great job. And Deborah says, hello, all is well in bed. Love this. Yes, Deborah, come back next week. We got a surprise. So every 4 years, the nation's eyes turn to Iowa for the first caucuses in the presidential election. Even in non-election years, there's plenty to see and do in Des Moines. Weekly farmer markets attract tens of thousands of people. Since a vast percentage of Iowa's land is devoted to farming, there is usually a variety of produce on offer. So the capital population is 205,000, state population 3.1 million, and then the large cities, Cedar Rapids, Davenport. State entered the Union December 28. Happy early birthday. State flower, wild rose. State bird, eastern goldfinch. So the places we'll visit, let me show you their flag real quick. That's the red and blue, the red, white, and blue. That's theirs right there. Pretty awesome. So, number one, the first place that we'll be going to is the Salisbury House and Gardens. Bree transported to the past at this historic house inspired by a Tudor mention the Weeks family visited in Salisbury, England. Next one, number two, we're going to visit the Raccoon River Park. Wonder why it's called that. Let's see, with a lake, a swimming beach, a dog park, a playground, over 3 miles of trails, and more. There's lots to enjoy. I bet there's a lot of raccoons there. Number three, the Blank Park Museum. Explore the lives of Iowans who have made an impact in the fields of sports, farming, music. Oh, I read the wrong one. Number three is the Iowa Hall of Pride. Explore the lives of Iowans who have made an impact in the fields of sports, farming, music, and more. Number four, where individuals who have advanced human development and fought world hunger by improving agriculture are honored here. And you can go to the World Food Prize Hall of the Radies. Number five, Iowa's only accredited zoo houses 104 different animal species on 22 acres of land, and you can visit that zoo at the Blank Park Zoo. Number five, number six, the 23-carat dome is a favorite with locals and visitors and can be seen from all over town. And that is called the Iowa State Capitol. Number seven, each August, more than 1 million people visit the celebration of agricultural industry and achievement. And you can visit that at the Iowa State Fair. Then number eight, visit nearby Indianola to learn about the history, pioneers, and contemporary heroes of ballooning of U.S. And that's the National Balloon Museum. There's a museum for everything, but I think that one piqued my interest. The National Balloon, let's see, Museum. Let's see. Google is a great thing. My dissertation was done on virtual education back in before virtual education was ever a thing. And so I always, because my family, we couldn't always afford to travel. So this was really important for me to get exposure out to kids that couldn't afford to travel. So my dissertation was written on the power of virtual education before it was ever a thing. And let me tell you, you can still go everywhere. So here we have all of the things, and there's their exhibits. There's a Fantasia balloon. So it says the owners, Jim and Eileen Neal and family of Riverwoods, Illinois, donated their Fantasia balloon to the museum. And so there's original artwork and memorabilia. And it was the first special artwork balloons built by Tracy Barnes and Barnes Balloon Factory. So you can go there, even if you can't visit, you can go there and look. So there's a winter closure. I wonder why. Lots of snow. So you can go there and get membership, and this is temporarily closed. And you see all of the little balloons. There's a lot. So you can go to these websites and travel and not get so cold, pop. You don't have to be cold. You can just travel in the comfort of your own home. So I think we have one more state, Kansas. Haven't been there. The minute I think of Kansas, I think of the Wizards of Oz. Capital, Topeka. When choosing a name for their new city, Topeka's founders rejected several options before settling on the current name. They may have chosen it because it was original, but some claim that it translates to a good place to dig potatoes, or Smoky Hill and a Native American language. Although agriculture is vital to Kansas, potatoes are not a common crop. In today's Kansas, wheat is king. So there are 128,000 people that live in the capital, 2.9 million people in the state, and other large cities are Wichita, Overland Park, and Kansas City. Date entered the Union January 29th, 1861. Happy early birthday. The state flower, wild sunflower, and the state animal, America buffalo. Kansas, what a cute flag. Look at it. It's a little sunflower right there. Adorbs. Love it. Number one, the first place we're traveling to is Gage Park. All aboard the mini train for a mile-long tour of this urban park, then ride the carousel or explore the zoo. Number 2, learn about math, science, and the arts through interactive exhibits and immersive experiences at the Kansas Children's Discovery Center. Number 3, the Great Mural Wall of Topeka. Artists and local volunteers team up to paint on ever-growing mural, panel by panel, with scenes showcasing Topeka life. Number 4, costumes, motorcycles, and memorabilia tell the story of the fearless daredevil who enthralled fans in the 1960s and 1970s, and that is Evel Knievel Museum. Who would have known Evel Knievel came from Kansas? I didn't know that, and I watched him as a kid. If you're watching and you don't know who it is, he was a person that wasn't very safe. He was a stunt guy. That's so neat. Number 5, Great Overland Station. This grand former Union Pacific station brings history and all kinds of trains to life. Then we're going to go down to number 6, which is the old prairie town at Ward Mead Historic Site. And that's where you'll step back into the past and explore town life at the turn of the century at the general store, Victorian schoolhouse, and church. And number 7, the Brown versus Board of Education National Historic Site. This is where a former elementary school provides the perfect setting to learn about the landmark Supreme Court decision that ended legal segregation. And number 8, Lake Shawnee. Fishing, boating, swimming, camping, sailing. This 1,100-acre park attracts visitors from all over the country. And y'all, I almost Googled it right in the middle of reading because I was like, oh my God, I got to learn more about this. The Evel Knievel Museum, because I actually forgot that was a thing. And so Evel Knievel, just in case you all didn't know, this is a little, let's see, I'm going to play a little video for you guys. So let me share my screen. Now let's watch a little video about Evel. Hold on. Let me stop it for a second because I want to, so you can see the whole video. So let me reshare it. Stop screen and present, and let me reshare it so you can see Evel Knievel. All right, there we go. Because I want to learn too.
Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from Topeka, Kansas. More specifically, we are in front of the Evel Knievel. And you see that through the bushes. The Evel Knievel Museum. Now, Evel Knievel, probably the most famous stuntman in history. Not necessarily, I don't know if he's necessarily known for movie stunts, but for stunts of jumping things on motorcycles, doing crazy motorcycle jumps. Usually when I think of Evel Knievel, I think of motorcycle jumping buses, jumping other crazy things, tanks full of sharks and lions. But yeah, they actually have a museum dedicated to Evel Knievel here in Topeka. And one interesting thing, I remember hearing the name Evel Knievel. His first name is not really Evil, but he went to jail for doing an illegal stunt. And when he was in jail with a criminal named Arthur Knaufel. So there was Awful Knaufel, and Evel Knievel took that. So we have Awful Knaufel and Evel Knievel because their names were similar, and he adopted his stage name from there. Although he did change it. It's how does he spell it? Evel. He's not truly evil. He's not some demonic entity. He is simply a talented stuntman. Did all these life and death stunts, but died, I think, of relatively natural causes in his life. Did not die from any sort of crazy stunt. So I'm excited about checking out the Evel Knievel Museum. So please follow me. jump. We jumped 14 buses at Kings Island, of all places. That would have been cool to see. I'll tell you, cool staff.
So you can go to this because it is 24 minutes long. Hi, Nathan. How are you? So, guys, remember next Tuesday is Tucked In Tuesdays and Christmas Eve. Make sure you tune in because we'll be tracking Santa. The Grinch will be here reading a Christmas book, and I'm pretty sure he won't be happy about it. And yes, Rochelle, you can use this in your classroom. It's an informative video. And if you need me to come and read about Kansas, I mean, I'm right down the street. Just ask. So guys, next week will not be this book. We'll pick this up after Christmas, but we'll be reading a special Christmas book, watching the Santa tracker. The Grinch will be here. Maybe Santa, who knows, but it'll be a Christmas festival next week, Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. So guys, remember, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you. Remember, if you can't afford to travel, virtual is the thing. And just before I go, hold on one second. I want to teach you guys something. Maybe you already know, not sure. But I'll show you a little bit. So let's see. Let me go to it and then share my screen. So the webcam, just so you know, we haven't gotten to Texas yet, but I'll give you a head start on Texas because I'm from that state. Let me go ahead and present, and then I'm going to jump off. She goes, hi, mama. Oh, Latoya's mama must be, or she calls someone mama. So let's go to share our screen, and we're going to go here and right here. Did you guys know that if you can't afford to go to the Houston Zoo, you can go to the elephant yard cam or the giraffe feeding platform cam, the giant river otter cam, the flamingo cam, and you can watch. Let me refresh my screen and see if it'll click. No, because it's night. But you can click and watch them live in their habitats. They stop that, so they stream from 7 in the morning to 7 at night, and you can watch these animals in their natural habitats. Here's the Bronx Zoo. They do it as well, live cams, and you can go in and watch the animals. So there's Madagascar, there's the Bronx Zoo, and look, there they are right there. And so they're off, but this is during the day. You can check back from 10 to 4 Eastern time, and you can go and watch the animals at the zoo without even leaving your home. So I challenge you to take your kids on several vacations without spending any money, none, this Christmas break. And the Smithsonian also has a zoo, and they have animal cam bingo cards. So you click the link, you'll get a bingo card, and then you take that bingo card, and every time you see something, you mark it on your card. But you can go to the giant panda cam. It's coming soon. There is the naked mole rat cam. And so here they are right there. And so in and out, but I guess there they are, naked mole rats. So guys, no more, I don't feel like driving, because you don't have to drive. And there they are hauling their babies off. So there, vacation at the fingertips and even on your phone. Your little one has the phone. Take them on the vacation. They'll never forget. Now here's the elephants, and it's evidently nighttime. And so we're now at the Smithsonian Museum, and it's night, and I'm whispering as if they can hear me. And they are walking around at night. So, guys, remember, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you. Never stop. Dr. George loves you. Never stop learning. Learning is at our fingertips. So tonight, if you have nothing to do, watch the elephants. You might learn something new about the elephants at the Smithsonian Zoo. So, guys, you have a great night. Remember, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you. See you next Tuesday. Wear your pajamas. And if you want to be a guest on Tucked In Tuesdays, let me know, and I'll invite you on, and possibly even send a book that you can read along with me if I'm able to. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.